Okay. All right. Hello. Good morrow. Good morrow. Hello? Hello. Okay, let me get my visuals all set up. Good, good. Getting good. Okay. What am I doing today? More entity system work, but what? But what? I think an easy one to start with would be static mesh projectile collision. Which I guess I need to do some thinking about that. Because... oh boy, lots of things to think about there. Lots of things to think about. So... the way my projectiles work right now is based off collision settings, which is fine when everything's an actor, because the actors have collision settings as well. But the static mesh, I believe, maybe I should turn on collision for the instant static mesh and remind myself of how bad the performance was and why. But from what I remember, it was nigh reasonable, nigh unreasonable. It wasn't, there was no way I was going to be able to make that work. It was so bad, the performance was so bad. Moving around instant static mesh instances when they have transform was awful. So relying on that for projectile collision for combat is going to be an interesting thing to solve. Now, I could just make it to where the projectile on the projectile's tick, it just checks if it's at the target location. And that'll work for anything that requires a target. And it already lerps on tick to the target. But the thing I like about the collision settings are that it can hit other things, which is kind of interesting, like on its way to the target. And it kind of bakes in an LOS thing. So, you know, you could go around a corner or something and block the fireball or arrow or whatever. And, you know, for combat happening way in the distance, for instant static mesh entities, you know, do I still want that? I mean, if I had it my way, I would say yes. But maybe if it's fired from an entity, or maybe I should just check it, maybe I should have like some sort of projectile relevancy or something. Cast projectile. Let's open up the cast projectile class. Neely, hello. Good day. Good day to you. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do about entity projectile collision. Where's my tick? There's the tick. So, it already on tick interpolates to the target, but it can hit other things on its way. However, it does not hit the entities when they're static meshes, because the static mesh has no collision. Let me open up the instant static mesh actor here. Do I have settings on here for collision? Set collision enabled, no collision. That actor enable collision is set to true though, interesting. Let's just turn this off. Okay, let's see how bad this performance is real quick. We can do profile. We can do a trace. Let me get my channels set up here with those guys. Yep. Okay. Is it worse? Well, right now they're just combat. Start the trace here. My guys now. Now they're... Now I may need to turn off their combat. Open insights after trace. I don't know. Maybe that didn't have collision on it either. I should probably check that it did. There's the instant static mesh actor tick. Yeah, I should check the collision. So let me turn off. Where's my stuff at? Here we go. Let me turn off. We're gonna make them never attack. So they're just going to run away. Okay, pause, click. What's our collision here? It's set to block all dynamic. Okay. Generate overlap events during level streaming. Now, I suppose it does have generate overlap events on. Okay. Simulation generates events. Okay, so they do be having collision. Okay, let's trace it. It doesn't seem too bad, actually. Why did I think it was bad? It was probably when I had like thousands of entities going, is when I thought it was bad. Yeah, I mean, this seems fine. Yeah, that was running at like 70 FPS, 65, yeah. And most of that was the slate, was the editor widgets. So is it? Let me just dial it up. Let me dial it up. Be crazy. Be crazy. Num entities 1,000. Okay, significantly laggier. That sound is so strange. Working at like 30, 40, in the high 30s. God, the animation budgeting is kicking in real hard here. Yeah, I think maybe also today I can work on the max number of actors as well. That'll help with these high concentration areas. Now, when I get to all, let's get it all. They are all instant static meshes. I mean, they're looking good. Now, it's still the game frame is taken up all of the time here. We're rocking 45 FPS. Okay. Like at the very end here is what we'll want to take a look at. Go right here. Yes, the move to processor now. So this fizz set body transform. Okay, so we're gonna save this one. I'm gonna put this on my other screen. So now let's turn the collision off and run that again, see what the difference is. I guess this is just for the ISM instances, so I have to think about how many ISMs I can expect to have actually rendered. I mean, 1,000 I think is probably pretty maximum for me. What I could expect. Let me make sure collision is actually turned off. It is set to no collision. Okay. Let's trace it. Screen. So I could always set a max number of ISM instances and a max number of actor instances as well. Once I find out what my max is. Dude, my FPS is so much higher. Oh my god. It is 70, 75? Up from 45, so I get 30 more FPS. $30 more FPS, it seems, from having no collision per 1,000 entities. Yeah, it was actually GPU bound as well. Yeah, so the move processor, where even is it? Dude, it was taking so much less time. That's insane. That's insane. Hey, what is this graph? Mcmatic. This graph is Unreal Insights. It is the profiling tool that ships with Unreal Engine. And what we're looking at here, this would be a single frame. And I'm testing collision settings on my entities, on my instance static mesh versions of my entities. And so the difference is, see this move to processor. This is the processor that moves my entities. Now, here is my last one. The move to processor took 12.5 milliseconds as opposed to 200 nanoseconds. When collision settings are off. So yeah, it's a crazy difference there. But if I can figure out some sort of maximum bound, I can just, not render ones out in the distance. And then if they're not rendered, they're still in memory, moving around in memory. That's very cheap. That happens completely on a background thread. I can potentially still have some collision on it. And just not add them to the instance static mesh. But yeah. Yeah, so you can, if I hide my face here, you can use this trace thing here. You can use this, oops, and then click this little button down here. This is what starts it. And then I recommend turning on stat named events, and then asset load time and asset metadata. Those will give you better names on the tracks to where it actually makes a little bit more sense. Without those, it's very hard to read. Yeah, recommend those if you need to do some profiling during the game. Does UE use chaos physics for ISM? I mean, I assume anything that you have physics turned on for would use chaos physics. Not sure what the alternative is in UE5. Thank you for the follow, mate. Appreciate that. I thought everything used chaos in Unreal 5. I don't think I had physics simulator for that ISM though. We'll make sure that we're not. We'll make sure that we're not simulating that. Hello, please. Okay. Running it again. Okay, pause. Okay. Simulate physics is not turned on. If true, this body will use simulation. If false, will be fixed, i.e. kinematic, and move where it's told. It was probably false already. I don't think I had it turned on. Yeah, we're still rocking. Oh, maybe it's a little bit higher. Maybe it's a little bit higher. Oops. No, not that one. Wait. No, get out. I don't want any actors. Actually, oh, I didn't turn. Oh, I'm so dummy. I'm such a dummy. Stop that. Dum. Is that too loud? Was that too loud? I want, I didn't turn the collision back on, that's why. I was like, wow, it actually made a difference. Okie dokie. Now let's try. Now let's see. What's our FPS now? FPS is 30, 20. Okay, so it's not any better. Not any. I think physics was already set to false. Yeah, 32, 33 FPS. My girlfriend just texted me and she said, I keep getting static shocks every time I touch a door at the store. I'm just going around whispering the F word every time I touch a door. It's funny. Ah, fuck. Like, why does this girl hate doors so much? Okay, so what's the upper bound here? Let's try to find like a good. Oh, I'm still tracing. Stop that. Stop that. We don't want that. Okay, so that was 1,000 entities. Let's do 100. I don't think 100 was too bad. And we want 100 with collision. Yeah, okay, so that should be having collision. Okay. When I'm in the thick of it, we're good. We're rocking 65, 70 FPS. Now, the reason I go full screen when I do these is because you'll notice this if you look at Unreal Insights. you'll see like some slate pre-pass or like slate tick or some slate shit at the end of the frame, and it'll be taking up like half your game thread. And you're like, what the fuck? Why are my slate widgets taking? Why are my slate is UI stuff? And you're like, what the hell? Why? But it's actually it's the editor. Like your profile. If you're doing a play in editor session, you're profiling the editor itself as well. So when you go full screen, the slate widgets of the editor don't tick. So that's why I do that. Now what's interesting. My draw call is 13 milliseconds right now. My game thread is 5 milliseconds, 5 to 6. Now when I go low screen, my game thread is 13 milliseconds. My draw call is 4 milliseconds. So I kind of actually swapped there. So it actually didn't really make that much of a difference. And it's interesting because it's a higher, it literally has to draw more pixels when I do full screen. God, it increased a lot. Actually, let's profile that. Okay, race started. Okay, let's get a few frames in here. What's the shortcut key for full screen? F11. Okay. And then F8 to detach from your character is also a nice one. Yeah, interesting. Okay. So stop that. Stop. Let's see if I can tell where the switch happened. It's probably one of these spikes, right? Yeah, so you see this slate tick time, 10 milliseconds here. 10 milliseconds. 9. And then I come here. So yeah, this is where the switch happened. So this spike right here is the where I switch from pi to full screen. So this is pi. Now you can actually see this is my UI. This is my UI. And then the entire slate shit took like 8 milliseconds. About 8 milliseconds, 10 milliseconds on this frame. Then afterwards, what does it look like? Now I have game thread idle time. And that's because the render thread taking up 14 milliseconds now. For gathering dynamic mesh elements. And for me, it's always really difficult. Like, I can't fucking tell how to optimize the render thread other than like common conventions. Like, when I see shit in the game thread, like I can look at the game thread and be like, oh, okay, my instant static mesh actor tick is taking up that much time. You know, my skeletal mesh animations are taking up that much time. You know, move to processor, that kind of stuff. But for render thread, just like, yeah, dude, we were rendering stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, what stuff were you rendering that took so long? Ah, who's to say? Be interesting to see how much of it, because I do have nanite turned on for my instanced static meshes and my skeletal meshes. So I wonder what the difference would be there. Now, looking at the move to processor. Okay, so for 100 instant static mesh entities, the collision actually wasn't that impactful. Need another course just to understand all these tools for profiling. Yeah, one for each subsystem within Unreal Engine, of course. Yeah, I mean, so with 100 entities, it's not too bad. But then what am I going to do? My dogs are downstairs absolutely losing their shit. So I need to think about, I guess, 3 different forms of my entities. One form is actors, the real thing. Those are the green guys on here. The other one is the instant static meshes, which are the blue ones here. They will be the same, you know, the same color. They should be the same color, but I keep them different colors so I can tell the difference. And then I need to think about when they're just in memory and they're not rendered at all. How am I going to handle collision for that? How do I want to handle combat for stuff that's not even rendered? Yeah, because like, what I would really like is for somehow to like replicate collision on the background thread for the in-memory entities. Because like, if you think about combat happening and it's collision based, it matters like what buildings are set up and everything. But for me, everything is procedural, runtime generated, or placed by players, or placed by AI at runtime. So there's nothing baked, there's no baked information I can use. The world technically won't exist off screen. So I could do some things with like, I could probably do some pretty rudimentary collision with like bounding boxes and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure most things have like a bounding box, or for entities it would be a capsule collision, right? I can get the CDO of the actor representation, these guys. And I already do this quite a bit for like half height and radius and stuff like that for some calculations for positioning. But I guess I could get that capsule collision, and I'm sure I could find some math stack exchange posts on how to determine if a point is within a capsule collision and shit like that. So I could do that. And then if I wrote my own like background collision detection like that, I say collision detection, it would be pretty faked, right? I could also do that for buildings and trees and stuff like that. That's going to require a lot of I guess it would only be code in the projectiles that would matter. That's what I would be using it for. Yeah, it would just be combat projectiles, because collision's not going to matter for just walking around, because I'm planning on serializing the nav mesh, and so I will have the nav mesh in memory, even though the terrain underneath it and the buildings and stuff are not rendered or loaded into memory, because the nav mesh will have already been built. And I guess I'd have to rebuild the nav mesh whenever a building gets placed in memory. Again, all in memory, not actually represented on the screen in any way. Oh, that's going to be a can of worms. But collision won't matter, really, because I'm just letting the navigation figure it out. And then all these actors right now are moving around on the nav mesh anyway, via state tree ticks. So it's all, the state tree's ticking in the background. They're doing pathfinding on the background thread, so this doesn't block the game thread at all. And so that's pretty extensible. Combat is really like the big bottleneck for me right now. But I mean, like, this is probably for things actually rendered. And again, there's nothing rendered like behind me. So look at all that shit behind me. Look at all that shit over there, right? I don't actually render anything over there. It's all fake. It's all smoke and mirrors. I frost and call it. So when I turn, these things are actually spawning and despawning. And if you look at my logs, you can see all these attached weapons happening. That's it. Picking from a pool of actors, transforming the actor position, and then attaching whatever equipment they had in their equipment component, which right now is just a mace. So I'd say this is pretty good, because like if you think about a colony, I don't know, am I going to have 100 people in a colony? It seems like a lot. It seems like a big colony to manage via third-person view. Guys, stop it. Go. Wow, the mic actually does a really good job at noise canceling my dog's barking. They're freaking out right next to me right now. I'm gonna be right back. My dogs are freaking out. Okay, we back. Has this been paused the whole time? Okay, here's it as. Doggos are delivering gifts, yes. They have definitely given us some presents from time to time. Motion design tools. Toots? Like tutorials? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, so I think I was talking about projectile collision, how I wanted to handle that. If I'm going to fake the collision anyways, whenever they're not rendered, I might as well not even rely on it to begin with, right? Things working differently when things are in the foreground versus the background is, I think, probably not ideal. But if I still wanted the... So, like, for right now, can I even hit this guy? Right. So, if there's another guy in the way, let's get a bunch of different guys here. Come on, I'm trying to hit you, bro. I'm trying to hit something else. Okay. No target. Okay, so... Yeah, I guess the thing I'm caught up on, distance-based makes way more sense. I think it's, yeah. I think it'll be better. Well, at least like distance to like bounding area or something like that. But like if I still wanted the projectile to be able to collide with other entities or other things in the world, I would probably need to have some sort of processor for that runs in the background. Now, what I've wanted to do is some sort of distance-based entity chunking, or like location-based entity chunking. So maybe I don't process the ones in the background as often, but I still have like the delta time for when they've been processed, so I can still like move them at the proper rate. They just don't update as frequently. And essentially what that would mean for the faked collision of the projectiles would be like I could get a subset of the entities to check. Because I don't want to check if I'm casting this fireball, and while this fireball is flying every tick, I don't want to check every single entity. Like, I don't need to check that one way over there, right? I just need to check the ones within like the immediate vicinity. And so I should probably come up with some sort of location query or something. And then when I get when I build out a chunking, I can almost build like an octree of entity locations. That's going to be kind of a big project, so I don't want to like dive straight into that. Easiest thing to do now would just be to check on tick with the target. No, we'll keep that there. Because like right now the fireball doesn't require a target to fire. You can just fire it willy-nilly, but that won't do anything. I should probably change it to require a target. I'm not going to consider every entity. If we have a target and it's valid and it's alive, I think we take out the is alive. Now I need to get like the target radius. We need to get the target collision capsule. I've done this some. I need to get like the CDO. Then in my entity representation data. What do they call it? Avatar entity data. That's what I called it. Okay. Get pawn radius, get pawn half height. Let's make another one for something else. I'm just gonna copy this for now. Default pawn, get capsule, get simple collision cylinder. Used for simple collision checks, i.e. pawns reaching a destination. Get components bounding cylinder. So I think this will probably be good. I think I can probably do this. Oh, it just returns the radius and half height. Okay. Oh, my back itches. I can't reach it. Okay, that'll have to do. It still itches, but we're gonna deal with it. So the cylinder really just gets the half height and the radius. Cylinder extent. We don't have anything for capsule, huh? I could get component by class. Does the capsule have any, does the capsule have anything on it that's useful? It would be nice if there was just like a exists within bounds or something. We have F-box sphere bounds. Get capsule size. I should probably check. Hang on, let me check in blueprints as well, because that'll have access to a like all the gameplay statics. Is I'm looking for like an is within bounds or something. I don't see anything. Math. Okay, nothing. Okay. Let me do a quick Google search. Unreal Engine. What do I want to search for here? Is within capsule bounds. I'll check for cylinder bounds as well. What do I need? Bounding box size? No, I have that. I have like the size and the component and everything. I just want to check if a point is within the either account. And I'm looking for a built-in function. I know there's some math to do it. I'll go there next. I just want to basically check, is something within either a cylinder or a capsule? Let me check for cylinder. Need help with vector math, checking if actor is inside a cylinder area. Yeah, I guess I would need the extents. See, all this super mathy stuff is such a turnoff. Just give me a function. Cylinder. They also needed the axis that it's on. Oh boy. They use a projection onto the axis. Axis. Dot product here is used to find the projection of a vector onto the cylinder's axis, which finds the closest point on the cylinder's axis to the point, the given point of interest. Cylinder collision. I mean, there's got to be some function somewhere in the engine. Boxes, capsules, and spheres can be represented very easily mathematically without needing to use triangles or polygons. That's why they exist. A capsule can be represented by a line and a distance from that line. Equation to find the distance from a line can be done very quickly and can be used without any square roots as well. For a cylinder, you can use a couple of dot products to exclude hits in the hemisphere and restrict them to the cap only. Okay, can I have Gib source code, please? Let me just do a source code search here. Is within GPU budget. Not quite. Is within bounds. That's a function. I don't think any of that is relevant to me, though. Ugh. It's looking like I'm gonna need to write this myself. Okay, so let me make sure. Get bounding cylinder. Get simple collision cylinder. Get extent. Does the extent give me the orientation of it as well? I suppose it should always be up and down, though. Should it always be straight up and down? I mean, when wouldn't it be? I guess swimming, maybe? I don't know, maybe we can just do a simple version of it. What does extent do? What is an extent, technically? Radius, half height. It's just a vector with radius and half height. Okay. Okay, so if that's going to be the case, then I can just use radius and half height, right? I don't need another function for it. Okay, let's pop over into our utils file. My generic utils. And I'll write the function in here. Math. Bool is within cylinder const point start and end is just going to be, I guess I need the location of the cylinder as well, right? Float radius and float half height. Maybe Copilot can help me out here. I feel like this would be the kind of thing that Copilot would be good at. Is point within cylinder. Can't spell. Okay, create that. Alright, Copilot, go burr. What you got for me? Come on. Okay. This is what it gave me. Point to cylinder. Point to cylinder top. Point to cylinder bottom. Distance to cylinder top. What is size? It's doing a square root. And square roots are expensive from what I've heard. Or maybe there's a more efficient way to do this, because I thought I read something somewhere that said you can do it without doing a square root. Let's just fuck it. Let's just fuck it. You know? Let's see what happens. Is point within cylinder. Fall on impact. What does it need? An actor. Is point within cylinder, so we need to do target. Or no, I need to get actor location. Cylinder location would be the target location. And I can get the half height and radius via my avatar entity data. The target's avatar entity data. Oh boy. So I need to write a function to check whether or not this target is an entity or not. Because for players, they're not going to be entities and they're not going to use this. Let's just do the happy path. Okay, target equals that. Let's also create one for the entity if there is one. Equals target.asc entity. I mean, if I'm just doing that, I don't need to store that. I don't need to store that. I'm just doing that. I need to do a if target.asc.entity.is valid. Okay, so if there is an entity, cylinder half height, initialize that to 0. Same with radius. If we have an entity, cylinder, and I can just pass in the cylinder radius and half height. Okay. And then if it's an entity, I need to my entities, get the entity subsystem. And yes, that is correct. Good job, Copilot. God, Copilot is learning my code better than I can. Now with the we're calling that actor data. Because I do that in the rest of my code. I need to refactor that. Avatar data, get pawn radius, get pawn half height. Go. Okay. Okay. Now, some easy things I can do here. Let's actually put the entity subsystem in a thing. And we'll put that in right in here. That way we don't need to like get that every frame. This is a constant speed lookup, so this won't be very expensive. I do need to be doing cast here, so I think this is good for now. Let's see what happens. I should turn off the collision for it, because otherwise this code's going to get executed. Oh, I need to check. Well, it's only doing the target, so don't target yourself and cast a fireball like this. And we'll be good. Okay, so now, theoretically, what should happen is that it should only ever target its target, or collide with its target. It will, once I turn the collision off, potentially go through floors and terrain and buildings and other actors. And we'll see if that's we'll see if that Copilot code is right. Okay. Cast projectile, collision. I guess it's the box. Yeah. No collision. Make sure the fireball is also set to that. God, my nose is bothering me so much right now. Fireball. That's the ability, not the projectile. There we go. Projectile. Collision. Okay, it's no collision. No can collide. Let's see what happens. They need combat. Okay. Everyone, somebody hit somebody. So it should be like a wildfire. Exactly. Yeah. And it's not. It is not. Nothing is colliding. Yes. It should be exactly like a wildfire. Okay, I guess let's beautiful, yeah. Ship it. Ship it. Fire skirt. New gear? Question mark. Let's throw a breakpoint, just make sure we don't actually get here. Okay, nothing so far. We are getting half height and radius. Just get a sample. Let's look at some of these values here. Cylinder location, point. These look pretty close to each other. Okay, what are we doing here? We're subtracting the cylinder location from the point. Which is the, I guess, kind of like the, not distance, but like the direction. Plus half height, point to cylinder top, bottom size. Distance to cylinder top, less than or equal to radius size, or radius rather, and distance to cylinder bottom is less than or equal to cylinder radius. It's, right now it's 90, almost exactly. Hang on. Are we just like slightly off here? A few more samples. Continue. Yeah, they're all right around 90. I feel like this is almost right. We're subtracting cylinder half height from the point to cylinder. What is point to cylinder doing here? What is this saying? I would have thought we would just do that from cylinder location. Let me just try from cylinder location and see what happens. Oh, I guess then we wouldn't be factoring in point at all. Is radius used here at all? Radius is not used at all. Or so. Oh, okay. Less than, yeah, this doesn't seem right. Cylinder radius less than or equal to cylinder radius. Okay, Copilot, give me something new. Give me a new. Okay. Okay, you can't do that, Copilot. It's okay though. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Just it did it and it didn't. Okay, let me look up an equation here. Is point within cylinder. Radius, location, and half. Geometry. I want to define cylinder in 3D space, go through a list of 3D points, tell inside or outside. I can define cylinder by specifying 2 points along the axis and the radius of this. Okay. That's not exactly the information I... We'll search is point within cylinder. Is point within cylinder code. Give me the code. They all have 2 points as like... I mean, I guess I can create the 2 points pretty easily. Hmm. God, everyone that does mathy programming has the shittiest variable names. I assume Q stands for query. The queried point. If I can find something cleaner. If a point is inside a cylinder. Oh. Ew. Luke Plant. Gib code. Oh my god, he creates a fucking cylinder class. Ugh. Okay, we're going back to the Python one. If this doesn't work. Functions. Show functions. I don't know what the hell this site is. Oh my god, I can't even read that. Okay, I'm going back to the Python one, I think. Okay. So really, this is like 0.1 and just on the top, just on the bottom. Do I have to do point here? I think I just want cylinder location, and then we're adding and subtracting the half height from that. And then what comes after this is going to be different. So this is like 0.1 and 0.2. And then we have vec. Okay. Vec. What is this function? God damn it. What does that function do? This function is able to return one of a different matrix. Is it just normalizing this? The pilot seems to think that. That doesn't seem right though. What is this function doing? This function is able to return one of 8 different matrix norms, or one of an infinite number of vector norms, depending on the value of the order. I mean, is this literally just a normalized function? Is this just normalized? Is a norm the same as a normalized vector? Okay, I think it's just a normalized function. But he's doing r times the normal of the vector. I don't know if size is right here. Feels like you just need a z plus or minus and a dot result in the heights bounds for the distance. What does that mean? What does that mean? Is dot different than dot product? Point minus under bottom vec return greater than or equal to 0 and f vector. Oh, is that what I want? Is that what I want? Yeah, 0.2 q minus 0.2 vec greater than or equal to 0 and cross product point minus 0.1 vector. Doing a dot size here, which is interesting. I feel like Copilot has a better grasp on this than I do, so we're gonna try that and then maybe get rid of some of that shit. So is the fireball too high or low, and then it is in front or back to know if it is inside? Though this is more of a cylinder shape, if you're imagining what I'm saying, how I am. I am struggling to understand what you're saying, and I don't think it's your fault. Oh, this is working. That was working. How is this null? Where did this come from? Math is like notoriously hard to communicate though, so. What is happening here? Actor representation got nulled out here. And that's fine. But I'm literally checking if it's null, right? That's crazy. Yeah, I think that would be better, because then it's only checking the class and getting the default object. Okay, I think this worked. I'll turn down the number of spawns, so that we can actually see how accurate it is. Okie dokie. Is what I ended up doing what you were trying to say, Infidel? Or did Copilot hallucinate something entirely different? Yeah. Okay, so it is what you were trying to say. Okay, let's turn down the number of spawns here. Let's just do like 10. 10 spawns. Ow. Are you dead? Why didn't you die? And it was going right through. It seems, based on how they're hitting me, it seems quite accurate. You sound better at math than I feel I am. Distance to a line standing up, basically. I mean, like, I think I can picture what you're talking about in my head, but like the actual math for that escapes me. And you know what? I'm just gonna fucking keep it. I suck at math till it works. Don't we all? Yeah, I'm gonna just say this is good. This is good. Actually, it's not, because I didn't turn off the collision. No, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Right? There was no. Hang on. Let's. We're gonna make absolutely sure. Fireball projectile. Collision. Box. No collision. Okay. 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 Let's turn off. I don't know if this actually affects anything, but we're going to turn off generate overlap events, just in case. Wait, physics off. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Well, I guess I should now delete my overlap function. Look for a bed, need to pop out of the shop? Yeah, no worries. Do what you need to do. Don't apply begin accurate overlap. Goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, let's get rid of this. What this? Refactor. Collision. Not collision. Cast projectile to no longer use collision for it. Yeah, let's I'm gonna bump up the numbers and we're just gonna watch. We're gonna look for issues. That's what we're gonna do. Do 100. Well, that guy should be dead, I guess, right? Is my dead stuff not working now? Oh, there's a dead guy. Okay. It doesn't seem that the is this guy dead? Is this guy should this guy? Oh no, he's alive. Okay, I don't think my entities are dying properly. I don't think these static meshes. Why two numbers pop up. Now, some of my abilities rely on collision to execute, so I'll need to go and refactor those as well. Are you dead? You're supposed to be dead. You finally died. Good God, look at this mob. Yeah, the animation still isn't synced up, because some people are acting alive when they're not supposed to be. And that guy, okay, so when their health is at 16, I think they are rezzing themselves when they're not supposed to be. Because 16 is the amount of the health regen tick. Whenever you regenerate health, you get 16 back, based on the current stats that everyone has right now. And so it seems, I did write some code in here that I thought would have caught that scenario. Yeah, it seems like they don't die properly. I think I see. They don't have a death interface. Okay, I think I get it now, actually. Let me look at the NPC character class. Yeah, there it is. There's our issue. Yep. Okay, so the issue is I was only adding the death tag in the avatar actor. I should be adding that in here. I should be adding that here. Okay. Implement a res spell effect. I do intend to. I'm watching it in action. I think that's a different day. I think this is our issue here. Pretty clearly. I need the data. What do we have? Target. Target this is applying to. Yeah, so target is like the current. Hang on, can I like get owning ability system component? I think this will probably just be what we want. Target component data.target. I think I want this outside of here. I think I can get rid of that because that wasn't even happening. If we really just want oh dear, what did I press? Oh dear. We want target components. And I have this little function add boost tag if not present. Not president. If it's not president, dead. You are dead. And I do the same check down here, basically. Do it twice. Let's create a little function for that. Like that. Do I want to pass anything in here? Yes, let's just do the target component. And I should probably, I'm just going to copy this one because I have it set up already. Boom. Data target, get avatar actor. We'll just do that. Now I'll return actually a bool here. Oh, I didn't do it right. It can be made const, but that doesn't make sense. Maybe I should rename this from check death to like process death. Maybe try process death. I don't know. Check death is fine. Death, target component. That way we can early return. And the Boolean return from check death. Add loose tag if not present. I don't want to die again if we're already died. If we already is kill. Although I guess the die should probably handle that, right? Yeah. Do I want to handle that here? Because dying is like an event. It's a weird thing to say. So do I think I want the... I don't think I want that here. Because I might want to call this again when the entities change their representation. So I think rather than having that check there, we're no longer going to add the loose... No longer going to add the loose gameplay tag. I might need to do the same thing in my character. Yeah. Yep. Okay. And then in here, I don't want to call the die interface if I already have the tag. Oh, this returns whether it was added. A bool already add tag is if this is false. So if I didn't already have the tag. If I didn't already have the tag, then run the death event, yeah. Which is really just like if this got applied. So I could just like simplify that in here, although it's not really clear. And I guess I just control click on it and figure out. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. We've checked death, return. Yeah. Okay. Need to rebuild. Okay, we're building. I think this will fix the death issues, at least most of them. You like my emotes? I really only have one. There we go. There's my one emote. Okay. We have successfully mathed. We don't need to math anymore. Watch them die. Watch them die. I wish the nameplates moved like with my detached controller here. They don't seem to be processing the death. That guy should... Yeah, that guy's dead. Oh, that's the wrong guy. That guy's dead too. Why didn't you die? Okay, that was loud. Where am I processing death at? That's funny. That's a funny... Where in my code am I processing death for static meshes? I suppose it's just in here, right? And I'm checking the ability NMQ. Did we ever even get there? Any of these guys die? I think the guys that don't really die. Yeah, so we're not ever even hitting this. Nim index is 15. Ready spell directed. Let's skip through a few of these and see what anims are playing. I thought we had this working. Building anim montage. Okay, we found. That does seem to properly extract the right animation. Do we get here? We do. Now, is this just because I walked into and out of range, though? There are a few who are dead. We'll rerun that. Does that ever get hit when I don't go into and out of range? It doesn't seem to. Look at the mob. The mob, there we go. There's one. But that surely... Maybe this guy died on like the very edge and then like moved into frame or something. The lapse time is 24. So he's been dead for a minute. Half a minute, actually. Yeah, I only see one. Okay. You know what? Let's wait for all of them to die. It's gonna take a while. Most of them are dead, though. I was gonna wait for all of them to die and then just start, like, clicking through some of these. Oh, there was a death. Most are the one-handed attack animations. Attack, attack, attack. Here's a death. Might just be like the one guy that's dead, though. And I suppose, how was I processing death? I forgot how I was sending. Oh, I was doing. Oh. I need a death interface on proxy actor as well. Okay. do I want to do this? Because I don't want to have to duplicate this kind of stuff. I don't want to have to put this chunk right here is what I'm talking about. This is where I add the death animation to the queue. That's the issue. I don't want to do this. Would I do this in the attribute set? That feels weird, but that's where I'm like generating the event. What I don't want though is to have a death interface on the proxy actor and do the same shit in the proxy actor that I'm doing elsewhere. Right? I mean, maybe I should only do it in the proxy actor. Or at least only do some of this. Grant kill XP on killed something. I forget what I'm using these for. Oh, this is like to show XP on the screen, I'm pretty sure. Granting the kill XP should happen for... I mean, here's a game design decision. Like, do I want entities to be able to level up just like a player can? I think that could be kind of interesting. But very hard to balance, probably. And then on died. What is listening to on died? The AI controller, which I'm not using anymore. So nothing. Nothing is listening to the on died event anymore. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Proxy actor. I'm gonna have it on both, but I'm not gonna duplicate the code. Stop. Oh god. Writer's in a weird state. Okay. Proxy actor. You are now the proud new owner of a death interface. How do you feel? I love this little generate code part of writer. Like, I absolutely hated having to type out, like, especially for the like overwriting the overlap handlers and stuff like that for actors. Oh, I hated typing out that signature. And then this one will just give it to you right there. And then you just go here, Alt Enter, generate definition, boom, there. Easy. Okay, so all of this going into the proxy actor. And also, wait, I just pasted it back where, what did I just do? On death implement, what did I just do? Oh, on death is the event that gets forwarded to blueprints. Yeah, I definitely pasted that in the wrong spot. Death animation. See, that's the problem right there, I suppose. I'm only storing the animation to play on death on the... Okay, here's what I'll need to do for that. Avatar entity data, yep. No, that's not right. Do I have a subsystem in here already? I should. I'm not Okay, we have the avatar data. Create a pointer to the death animation. See, this is annoying because I'm going to have to cast it. I guess I'm going to need to store the animations in entity data rather than on the actor, because that doesn't really make sense anymore, because now that I have the VAT, they are intimately connected to each other. which means the entity should probably define it. Dude, I've had a twitchy eye for like 5 days now. It's so annoying. So I need to put these animations. Where else? Yeah, right now they're right here. Format this, because what I could do is actor class cast my NPC, or not my NPC character NPC char if NPC character this is kind of the shitty way to do it, which would technically work. Oh yeah, I just autoed something that doesn't even have a type. anim sequence base. Oh no, it's animation asset. This is kind of the shitty way to do it. I just don't want the code in here to, like... I may not always use the NPC character class. Should I, though? Should I always use the NPC character class? Is that just the easiest way to do it? Because I could just, like... That could be the base class, right? And then I could subclass it for, like... a humanoid versus, like, a wolf or some shit. And technically, this class used to be a, I used to have it called non-humanoid character, because it was for my wolves when I had those. I mean, maybe this is okay. Am I gaslighting myself into doing this, though? I was thinking that, like, I should maybe define all the animations in some entity data, something probably along the lines of the vertex animated texture that I have. I would just need I would need a few identifiers for, like, which one's death, you know, which one's attack and stuff like that. And I do have a reference to the blend space in the entity as well. So it's like I do have references to all these in the entity, they're just not, like, as strongly defined as they are here. But also, I don't want then this class, this NPC character class, to be dependent on an entity. I guess let's just see if this works for now. Let's just see if it works. There was more I needed to copy as well from the death stuff. On death. Not implemented in blueprints. Okay. Yeah, I mean pretty much everything but the play death sound, I think. And this stuff isn't even being used, so I'm just gonna leave that there for now. Let's just see if this works. Okay, gotta rebuild that. Did we fail? What happened? Yes, we did. We should already build a component. Why did I have that? Okay. Now let's try. Still bad? Oh, oops, yeah. We are getting the default object. Okay, so now the proxy actor is handling the death, which... Oh, I need to change more, don't I? Yeah, I need to change the post-gameplay effect execution code as well. I'm gonna wait for this to build first, though. I think I can just rerun it. Quick death. We are getting the avatar actor, we need to get the owner. Okay, hopefully now we can watch them die. The blue guys should be dying at some point. Here we go, we have some death animations. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Look at them die. Look at them die. Uh-oh. That guy. Oh, he might have rezzed. Does he have 16 health left? Okay, I can't even freaking tell anymore. It's weird that they all seem to like, that guy should be targeting something. You should be targeting something right now. Why aren't you targeting? There you go. How long is the targeting processor taking? Targeting processor. It's the state tree processor. State tree processor is only taking 1.3 minutes. Now, the targeting processor is a nested for loop over the entities, so I'm imagining that taking longer. Might have to find here. Target processor. Where? Oh, it's taking like no time at all. 200 nanoseconds. So why then? I suppose it's like skipping scenarios that it shouldn't be, is then the issue. I thought it was just, the latency was just bad. Okay. So targeting processor needs some extra work. We'll keep that in mind. Let me write that down. Targeting processor troubleshooting. Okay. They don't seem to be targeting. They should be like after they kill their target. If nothing else is on their aggro table, they should just be going to the nearest hostile target. It doesn't seem to be the case, though. They all seem to be, like, kind of going towards the same guy. Which is quite funny. Yeah, it's very mob mentality. It's like if Reddit was a entity. Dude, like, that guy wandered off. Even though this guy is clearly within his... Sir, you rezzed. How are you alive? You must have... He had 3 health, though, not 16. Yeah, some of them don't have their weapons equipped either. What's really cool is I'm not seeing the 1 frame flicker anymore, which is really cool. That we have the animation synced up. Also interesting that they didn't, none of them targeted, well, I guess that one guy targeted. I have 1. Yeah, it's really cool how far the system has come now. That's crazy. That's so satisfying to me. Like, they don't, if they were the same color, you'd never know. And I guess their weapons come back in. So here's a question that I've been tossing around. Is, should they unequip or, rather detach their weapons on death? It would make a few things a bit simpler, but it's not as flavorful. And like, is it like whenever the weapon gets attached, like a whole linked animation instance gets added based off the weapon and stuff like that? And it's just kind of annoying. That's so satisfying. That is so satisfying. That looked really good. That looked really good. Okay, let's commit this for now. This is a stable commit. Fix entity death processing. Or death event handling. I still need to make a decision on where I want those animations to be stored. Now I do have the VAT asset. The VASSET, if I may. Anim to texture data asset, which has a list of the animations. What would be easiest to work on for this system? I suppose it would be to just not change anything and leave it how it is. But the next time I want to change animations, it'll be a pain. I have to basically make sure they're synced up in 2 different places. Which feels like a bad. Yeah, what do I want the source of truth to be for the animations? Because if they're going to be instant static meshes, then I need the animations in this VAT texture, VAT data asset. Same with the blend space. I need the blend space as well. Which all that information is on the NPC character as well. I suppose I could on the entity avatar changed interface event. Okay, I don't, I guess I don't handle that event in the NPC character. Now just getting set entity. Okay, well I could add that here. And so whenever the entity is set, I could programmatically populate the animation variables within the class. And that way I can still use this class for non-entities and it will work just fine. Suppose I'm a little worried about I might still get the frame flicker because the variables essentially don't get set until the actor is about to be shown. So maybe their animations would be harder to sync up if I did it that way. And I suppose the inverse of that way is to do essentially what I've already done. And then this class essentially becomes, this is like an NPC, or not NPC, an entity class. And I mean, should I just rely on everything in my game being an entity? Every pawn, essentially. If that's the case, then the way I've done it is totally fine. And this NPC character can really just be called an entity character. I mean, even if it was like an entity character, I mean, in order for it, that doesn't necessarily mean it like adds it to the entity system, right? Like, they have to spawn an entity and then take possession with the entity. So you could still even use them as a non-entity character. I think I actually kind of want to just leave it like it is. I don't know if I have enough information to like make the best decision right now. I think I'll let this decision make itself when it's relevant. This can be constant. Okay. I'm actually happy with that, so I can actually cross off static mesh projectile collision. We're done with that. I suppose I need to handle the arrows now as well. The arrows actually aren't the same class, and potentially they should be. Region health can res. Okay, did we fix that issue? With the dead tag? I think we did. And it wasn't region health at all. Sort of was. I think we fixed that issue as well. I actually feel static mesh combat, we're pretty solid there. We crossed a lot of things off this list. I have here nameplate, mana, and level. So that's an easy one to do. For UI update. I have max number of entity actors. That's an important. That'll be important for scaling. I have more static mesh animations, which I think I have everything that I'm using right now. But I suppose for things like the bow attacks and the dual wielding, I would need to add more. Entity movement settings. That's an important one as well, but that's more of a refactor. I'm hard coding a lot of like speed variables and navigation parameters. Actor radius, agent radius, is what they call it for the pathfinding. So I want to like parameterize that into a kind of like modular set of walk, run, sprint settings, really. And then the movement state tree tasks, and select which one they care about. Like for combat, you know, you'd want to be sprinting for combat, but like maybe for colony tasks, you just have the jog or the run or whatever. But then for just like recreation, because I am planning on colonists, like, you know, just kind of like having idle time and recreation time. So maybe when they're just chilling out, not working, they're just walking around, right? Or maybe you can have some urgency setting on your colony to be like, okay, I need everyone to sprint everywhere they're going, right? So yeah, that'll be important when we get into more state tree tasks. I have state tree relevance here as well. Relevancy settings for the state tree, like how much do we want, or like it's really for like turning off the state tree, right? Because I might have like some, like I don't want everything, not everything will need to be on all the time, right? Like for a wolf in the forest, I want that to be on all the time. But if it's like, if it's just a mob camp whose sole purpose is to just be a mob camp, you know, like a cave full of bandits or a cave full of spiders or some shit, like I don't need those to be on, really, because they're not going to be doing a whole lot, right? They're just going to be wandering around. So I'll just have a radius for like when to turn on the state tree. The targeting processor troubleshooting I just wrote down as well. I'm not super concerned about that right now. I think I do need to mess with the potentially the aggro table. For like removing, I need to remove entries from here at some point, or did I? Oh, I did that already. Yeah, if it's not alive, clear it. Okay. I mean, potentially what we could get into is a little bit of Colony Sim stuff. A little bit of, I can recreate I did a tree chopping task and construct buildings task. I could maybe do another, I do desperately want to refactor that system because it looks pretty fucking horrible. Look at this. I don't like the way I did this. But maybe I want some time off stream to think about how I want to structure that system. I think what is most important right now, or what does it need right now? I forgot one here. Entity attachment logic. Yeah, that's probably a big one. Especially if I'm going to do the max number of entity actors. That's going to be important. So that's going to involve me attempting to attach like weapons and stuff to static meshes. Now, the way the Kingmakers, what was it? Is it Kingsmaker? It was Kingmakers. The way the Kingmakers devs said they did it was that they had baked the location of it into a texture, which that it makes sense to me. Like, I get the concept, but I don't know how they would have done that, especially with the tools I have here. And I assume they made their own tools for it, or at least extended this one. But here's the material that runs, where the textures go. Bone weights, bone rotation, bone position. I suppose if I knew the position of the bone I wanted to attach it to, I could get it from the texture. Unpack bone weights. No bones, no bones. Where is bone position? Bone position texture. Is this used anywhere else? I don't think so. Bone position and normal. Error. Bone index. Input bone index. Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, they don't, there's no, I wonder if there's any hard-coded bone index location. No, I wouldn't think so. Like, I don't think, like, every time you bake, I mean, maybe if it's the same static mesh and skeletal mesh, it'll bake in the same way. But I don't think ahead of time you can know which index it is. Rotate vertex, rotate vertex. Unpack bone position. What does unpack bone position mean? Dude, I mean, the math for some of this is kind of crazy. Like, who the hell figured this out? Input frame scalar. I wish I knew which bone was which. And I don't think there's like no I don't think any identifiers are baked into this, right? Sigma. I may have to dig into the code of how it like bakes to texture, and then that's how I can figure out where the bones are. Which is going to be a pretty freaking boring thing to do on stream, so I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to look into that a little bit. So I think then, what does that leave? I think we either do max number of entity actors, movement settings, or I think I might do some Colony Sim stuff. That sounds fun. I think the Colony Sim stuff sounds fun, and that way we can work on some state tree logic that's not just combat. Although maybe I should. Okay, I'm gonna write a couple things down here for what I could work on. Colony Sim state tree tasks, and fix collision abilities for entities. Which I actually am leaning that. I want to get my what that's going to mean is like the bow attacks, like entities can't use bows right now. Yeah, maybe I should just try to like round out the combat part. Right now they just cast fireballs. Oh, I remember why I stopped doing that. Okay, so I have this entity archetype data asset, and it just has an array of instanced structs. And I wish, can I create a subclass of this? Can I create a subclass of a data asset? What is that? Oh, that was my attempt. Hang on, let me see here. Data asset is essentially what I want. No. Yeah. Okay, so what I wanted was like some presets. Because like, if I wanted to do the same exact settings, but make them friendly, I would need to copy this entire data asset and change it. And then when I went back and changed one, I would also have to change the other. I don't want that to be the case. So I was trying to figure out ways that I could do like preset either instance static meshes or data assets. So that way I could create some different loadouts for abilities, so they're not all just casting the same thing, they're not all just this or that, but they are similar, right? I want like a base class of this, and that's why I stopped. That's why I didn't want to do the other abilities, so I'm gonna write that one down too. It's really like, I'm gonna say entity archetype inheritance is really what I want. I want some level of inheritance. And I tried to do that. I think that's what this other one was. I thought I could create some blueprints that wrap it, but then I couldn't use those. What did I do? Couldn't use those in, yeah, there's nothing that shows up here. U blueprint entity data wrapper. Did I create one of those? Yeah, I did. Blueprint entity data wrapper. Yeah, and that's not showing up in the list, is it? It's instanced. Yeah, I guess why doesn't it show up in there? Whether this is const or not. I mean, I guess it is. I don't know if that's going to make a difference here. I've not really seen any class settings that would have... Is it because it's instanced? Is that the issue? Let's see. I wanted to be able to edit them inline as well, like, you know, make overrides and stuff. I wonder if it's because it's a data asset. What is this? This is just a U object with an entity data instance struct. Because this would, if I figure this out, if this works, I'm going to work on that. And we're going to create some different types of entities. And spawn them in Zwood. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. It's not instanced. But why doesn't this show up there? Because it's, oh, because it's a class. And I'm looking for an instance of it. I think that's why. It's a T array of T object pointer. Yes, it should be T subclass of. And I want it to be instanced so I can edit it inline. But I guess you can only do that for instances. And I guess the reason is because the blueprints aren't instances, it's a T subclass of. Oh god, how would I get this accomplished? Object pointer of this. Okay, let me. Instanced struct inheritance. Can I create an instance of an instanced struct? I don't think so. I don't think so. No, and then it doesn't even show up in there either. Or at least someone has tried to do what I'm thinking of. Hi, Monty. Yeah, and I guess another thing is like, should I have these in a data table as well? Should I have some of this in the data table? Okay, let's not go too far down that road right now. Undo it all. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, and then when I get back, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and fix up some abilities to be able to work with entities like my collision-related abilities. And I don't feel like that'll be too hard. We'll just have to figure it out. Potentially using some more of that collision, of that cylinder collision we did earlier today. And then after that, I want to get into the Colony Sim state tree stuff. So BRB. flung my pin at myself. All right, we back. We back. Okay, let's fix some of these abilities now. Next, let's fix it. Okay. First ability, and there's two abilities I have in mind, I suppose, right now. Frost Nova. That should be empty. Frost Nova and Blizzard. Do Frost Nova first. Frost Nova. Okay, so this should do some collisiony things. What's up with this? On cast spell. Yep, multi-collision trace for objects. Yeah, this kind of stuff is going to be kind of annoying to replace. It's like right now, I guess I have to like... I mean, I suppose if I'm using this... For players, this still should work fine. I probably just need to change the collision type a bit. But if an entity were to use this, I would need to... Right now, I would need to just iterate through every other entity to figure out which ones are in the radius. Which is what I do for the target processor, and it's not too bad. It's very unnecessary though, because I was talking earlier about the entity chunking. Maybe I should write that down. I think that might be a prerequisite of this actually. Entity location chunking. If you think about the whole world full of entities, thousands of them. If I divide the world into a grid chunks, I would only need to let me do an MS Paint here. If I divided the world into a grid, and these are perfect squares. So let's say I have some entities. Ignore the red line. Let's say I have some entities here, like red dots are all entities. And let's say, how big would I want to divide these into? So, like, I'm thinking the max range for some of these abilities is going to be like 3,000 to 4,000 Unreal units. So I think this would at least want to be like, I think I want to go like at least twice that. Let's say we'll do a conservative number of, let's say 6,000 Unreal units. And so if I have this entity right here, and I want to cast an ability, I don't care about all the entities over in this chunk. Right? I don't want to iterate over those. We can make that more performant. I do, however, if I'm this entity, I probably care about some of these entities right here. I probably want to do something like that radius, maybe, we'll say. Potentially. So I think what we would want to do is just get this. A simple version of this would be get this chunk and the neighbor chunks. Right, like get this one, 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 this one. Now, that's still quite a bit more unperformant. We can make it better. I can divide the chunks into quadrants. Right. You can divide them into quadrants. And so really, I just get the neighboring quadrants of the chunks. Or I could have a query for like get quadrants within range, right? Which would mean Oh, I need some more. Hang on. I need some more. Right there. And right there. Maybe right there. So it would really be this one, of course. That's the one I'm in. This one. And if it's like based on the radius, and then maybe it would just be this one, this one, this one. And so it kind of functions as an oct tree, wherein you kind of query the resolution, right? So I query to get the big grids, and then I say, give me the quadrants within this range. And then give me all the entities in these quadrants. And then I can run a query on those entities, which allegedly is how the mass entity system is supposed to work, although I could not find any way. Like, they had queries and stuff, but there was no way to like configure the grid or anything. I didn't see any documentation on it other than like, this is a thing. It's like, okay, great, but that doesn't tell me how to use it or how to tweak it. So this is what I have in my head for entity location chunking. And I would need a processor running to shift which chunks have ownership of an entity. And would I even want would I want a class that represents a chunk? I mean, maybe just to make it easy. But I could just math it, right? I could just use math and store the entities in like a set of maps and stuff. Do I want to get into this system today? It is kind of it's going to unlock some things for me, like this ability stuff, and then I can write a query system. And it'll help with the target processor, because I will no longer need to iterate over all the entities, just the entities within range. This isn't very fun though. I wanted to get into the Colony Sim stuff. Let's get into Colony Sim stuff. That's what I want to do right now. Okay, which I think a prerequisite to that may be to fix building. I may need to fix building real quick. Or should I just go with trees? Let me think here. Let me open up my... I should have some behavior tree stuff I can go off of. Yeah, so I have eat food, find and move to bed, find and move to food, sleep. I have a tree. Oh yeah, and I have equip wood axe, find and move to tree to chop, struct task, chop tree. I have some things to go off of here that I can replicate. I just need to rewrite these in C++ state tree tasks. This is a very nice visual representation. Here's my state tree so far. Okay. So I'm gonna need a new state. Colonist, colony. Colony task, I think, maybe. The is being interacted with is a good one to start with. That gets them to just like stop moving. If they're dead or in combat, though, we don't get there. Let's add child state. We need a task that I don't have yet. I guess what would this task look like? I just need, right now this is just checking. Oh, God, I hated the Blackboard interface. I hated that there was this intermediary abstraction that didn't really seem to provide much help. Not ability task. We want, where is the entity system tasks? New task. I guess this is just going to be, can I do a condition? Oh yeah, because I think I did successfully get the parameters to work here, didn't I? There's the root. Yeah, we do have populate global variable. So we do have access to the gameplay tags. So maybe I want like a, all this like, being interacted with. Enter condition. Now, if I add a tag, that'll be easy. Easy for this. Because I think right now this is just based off of a function. Although I think, do I have an interacted with tag? I think I might actually. Is being interacted with. Wow, I did it already. Yay. Or no, that was the wrong place for me to do it. Interacted is being interacted with, and then this needs to bind to the entity gameplay tags. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. We are being interacted with. I think I just need to wait. I think the task here is just a wait task that I already have. And it's really just like, all this is going to do is like check every X seconds if we're still being interacted with. If I don't have the wait task, it checks every frame or every tick of the state tree. And if it's not being interacted with, it just continues. Although we should have like some wait, right? We should have some like, I guess I want to know, I need to wait for like, I don't want them to like, I don't want the colonists to like run out of food and die if someone's just interacting with them for too long. Phoenix, hello. Welcome, Phoenix. We're working on some entity colony sim tasks, and I'm starting with like the state tree state for being interacted with. So like when a player character is talking to a colonist or something. And so I have a tag that signifies if they are or aren't. So we have an enter condition here for if tags contains is being interacted with. But I want to, I guess, wait on two things. One is like, and what I think actually we should have survival related task, actually. ECS stands for entity component system. It's a type of architecture, so it's not like it's like a industry thing. And the architecture is yeah, it is okay. Yeah, I didn't read all your message. It is for entity component system. I'm just doing the Colony Sim tasks for the entity component system. Yeah, you are. I was about to go on to a whole tirade where I explained the architecture, but I think you already know. But I think maybe I should start with their survival tasks, which is survival related tasks, which is like food and sleep, essentially. Maybe water as well. I don't have water. I love ECS. I use it in all my dev projects. Oh, do you write your own, or do you have? I think there's some open source ones out there. What do you use? Who are you who is so wise in the ways of ECS? Not sibling. I wanted child. And I suppose I need to check gameplay attributes. I wonder if there's a way for me to surface attributes here. And I could do like some of these compares. This would be like a float compare. I use Bevy. Bevy and Flex. I have never heard of these. Interesting. So are these specific to, they don't look to be. They're not, they don't seem to be specific to any engine or anything. So what engines do you use them in? I've just written my own now. That way I can make it work exactly the way I want to and need to, and it'll be as performant as possible. Because, you know, I only write the most performant code, of course. But actually, I want to, because what I want to check here is what I was saying. I want to check the attributes on the character. I want to check if they're, I have hunger as an attribute. I want to check if that attribute is below a certain level, then I need to go search for food. I think that's actually going to be the first thing I should do. And I believe, let me check out my populate global tasks task. Populate global bars, rather. I suppose I would need a condition to like check the two. My state tree condition BP base. Heavy is an engine. Flex isn't specific. Okay. Let me look. Can I create a non... Can I just extend this? Can I just extend this? I created my own condition there. EVA transition. This one's also abstract. I'm looking for an example of where they create their own condition. And I suppose they just have the blueprint ones, which I can't use. I've tried, believe me. I have to create mine in C++, unfortunately. Okay, so I think maybe, should I extend the struct or the object? I think I should extend the struct. Okay, let's try to create this condition. Yeah, just a U object. Call it attribute value compare. Attribute value compare. Sure. Should be an F state condition base struct for all conditions. Wait a second. F state tree condition base. Okay, so I did extend this. Let's just copy this for now. Let's get a starting point here. Instance data type. I suppose I need my own data type for this. F attribute value compare data. And for this, I'll want a key subclass of U attribute set. Attribute set. And then I would need I would need to select from a list of attributes on that attribute set. So what would that be? I need to I need to populate that list, right? How the hell would I do that? An F, field path F property, perhaps? Let me see if anyone's done this before. Unreal Engine. Select attributes from attribute set PP. What is this? Ah, yeah. So how does the gameplay effect do it then? Maybe I should just look there. View gameplay effect. Or I guess aren't they in components now? Let me try to find a gameplay effect I can use as an example here. Sure. It's they're all in components now. Okay, so modifiers. I should look at the modifier. Gameplay effect modifier. Maybe this? What am I looking at here? Go back to gameplay effect. Gameplay effect. Where's the list of modifiers here? Modifiers. F gameplay modifier info. F gameplay attribute attribute. Okay, can I just do that? Can I just do that? Do I even need the attribute set? Because this has all of it. So maybe I can just do this. Maybe this is easy peasy stuff here. Edit anywhere. Okay, maybe we can just do that, and then I guess I would need a comparison and a value. There's got to be a comparator on one of these already I can reuse, right? Oh, I should reopen that. Hang on. I changed something. Or did I? I didn't, but I should save it anyway. Okay. Okay, show me where I need a comparator if operator. Okay, so, and this was on a what condition? What was this? This was like a float compare. So, float compare. Not, let me find, I need to find a class. State tree conditions. F state tree condition common base. Instance, here we go. Left, right. Wait, what? That's not all it has. There's more than that. Oh, it was called operator? Yeah. No operator in there. E generic AI check. Maybe I should just make my own, because I have no idea, like, is this stable? It's in the AI module. I'll just copy it just to be safe. Yeah, and so we need a my operator. Edit anywhere, category, input. This should be operator. Yeah, we can default it to equal. And then I need some sort of value, which I suppose will be a parameter. And it will need to be a float value. I guess all theirs are parameters, except for the left. And I don't think I need invert. Do I need invert? I have the opposite. Is true. Yeah, I don't. Invert is just kind of confusing. So I'll add an is false. Wait, that doesn't even make sense for this either. And what does max mean? Less, lesser, equal, equal, not equal, greater, equal, greater. Yeah, I mean, all those make sense. Okay, so we have that. Okay. Why is that bad? F instance data type. Okay, now we're good. So we have the instance data in here. And so I think we need to check if attribute, if instance data dot attribute dot is valid, or rather maybe if it's not valid, return false. And then we should probably switch on instance data dot operator, and then we'll return here case equal context yeah, I guess I need to know who I'm querying this on as well. I do have the entity, so I can get it there. U entity, U my entity subsystem, entity subsystem, context get world, yes, yes, yes. And so I'll need const entity, sure, we can do that. Context, I need to cast context to U my entity, U entity context. What is it? Or no, it's F entity context something. Entity system state context. Is that mine? Is that the one I created? Yeah, that looks like my code. Okay. Oh, it needs to be a static cast as well because it's a struct. Okay. F state tree execution context. Why can't I cast? I've done this before. Do I need to do that? That's what it is. Okay. Okay, so we have the entity now as well. And I need to get the F ability system entity data. That'll have the ability system component on it. If we don't have an ability system data or an ASC, we return false as well. So now I can use the ASC to get the attribute value. So let's actually attribute value, get numeric attributes, instance data attribute. Cool. Then we can just plug and play here, I'm pretty sure. And I think Copilot will probably do a great job at generating all this for us. Get a little bit of help here. Yep. Come on. It like only wants to generate after the space. that was a weird one. Default. What is default? There shouldn't be a default, right? I'll just return equal as a default, even though it's duplicated there. Yeah, I mean that's it, I think. Hopefully this shows up correctly. I guess what I'm worried about is this showing up correctly in the state tree. Let me look at my state tree schema. Because this defines like what types can be used in here. F state tree condition base. That's what I extend from, right? Yeah, okay. So that should show up. Let's see if that shows up. Yeah, and for this state tree, it has to work in a very specific way. because of how I tick it. I tick it completely on the background thread, so that's why I can't use blueprints. Because all the way the state tree is typically built and all the engine blueprint wrapper types that they have, they're all expected to have certain functions. And functions in blueprints can't be... I mean, maybe there's a way to, but I haven't figured out how to make them be able to run on the background thread. They all throw assertion errors when they get triggered on a background thread. And I have tried multiple times to get it to work, but for now I'm just stuck with C++. So now I have to create all the tasks and stuff there. Okay, let's get rid of this one. Delete, enter condition. Probably have made attribute value compare. I should probably, let's add a category to this. Category my entity system. That way it'll show up in a little drop down in there next time. Attribute in. Okay, this is not the... Okay, so it shouldn't be an input then, I guess. It should be a parameter. I guess the difference between params and inputs here are that inputs have to be bound to something. They can't be, you can't put in a value for it, so I think that's where I went wrong there. Okay, will the attributes show up here? I don't know if I have to do anything to like populate the values either, so. Delete. Attribute value compare. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Okay. Now I can just check colonist attribute set food. Less than or equal to, I think it goes from a range of 0 to 100 is how I did it. So like less than 20, we should go find food. And I'm thinking maybe... I kind of want two different thresholds of this. Because like, you know, maybe if you're below 50% food, you go try and find food unless you're doing like an urgent task, you know? And then if you're lower than 20 food, then it's like, you should go fucking find it right now. That way you have time. Like if you have to go hunting for the food and stuff. If you're below 50 and there's nearby food, just eat it. Hi, buddy. Puppy dog. Oh. Thank you. You're so sweet. Oh, here's the other one. This one's a little bit chunkier. Okay, she was it. There you go. Okay, yeah, so how would I set up the different thresholds here? The thing I like about state trees is like you can kind of do whatever you want. Like you can have events that go to certain other states. Like they don't have to always like go to the next one. Although I think that makes it a little bit more predictable, and I'm going to try and do that as much as I can. But like for instance, yeah, like these ones are like on failure, go to the next state, which is kind of how I'm going to structure it. So the ones at the top are higher priority, and being dead is very high priority. And the one at the bottom is wander, low priority, right? But then you can also set up like this transition here. I set this up in the root state, and it's got like trigger on event, and you can give it a tag for the event, a gameplay tag, and you can tell it what to transition to. And so in the target processor that I have, if it has a target, and it's not currently in combat, I trigger an event, and then that'll put it into combat, into the combat state. So I like that. I like that you can just kind of go from one state to the other if you need to. So maybe, because the logic is going to be kind of the same. I wonder if I can override how this shows up. Because this is really nice. Something to look into probably later. I like that the gameplay tag compare shows up like that. Maybe, let me look at that real quick. What is it called in here? As tag condition. Hit description? Is that what does it? It is. Oh, that's nice. Okay. That's so nice. We're gonna override that. Hit description. Oh god. Okay, there's a lot there. I'm just gonna override it for now to kind of like tell myself in the future, hey, change that. Hungry. Let's not worry about the let's not worry about the multiple food thresholds for now. I'll just say this is hangry. This means we go now. We go food now. If we're not in combat, we're gonna eat food. If hangry. Then I'm going to need add a child state, I think. And this is find and move to something like that. Or rather, because the logic I had when I set this up in the behavior tree was if you're hungry and it does like a collision, it searches for food. If it finds food, it'll go to it, move to it, eat it. Find a spot to eat it and eat it. And if it couldn't find any, it would just wander. It would just move to a random location within a radius and run the check again. Yeah, I mean, let's just recreate that for now. So if hungry, I guess this can probably just be like find food. And if that fails, search for food. Yeah, and so I'll set up a transition here. On state failed, go to next state. So yeah, if hangry, we find food. If we don't find food, search for food. I guess find food and search for food kind of sound like the same thing. I'm gonna have to have a series of tasks in here. Find food. What is this like? This is really gonna be like move to and eat food. And so we're gonna have tasks for that. Okay, search for food. And I think I have the tasks already set up for search for food. Find wander target. Yeah. What kind of a radius should I have? This can be what? Food search radius. Food search wander radius. Food search wander radius, and that can be 3,000. We'll just make it 3,000. And then after we found the wander target, we can move to that target. Or no, we need to find the path first. I forgot. Delete. Find path. Target location. Bind that to find wander target. And then entity move to, not that, replace with entity move to. In path, we bind that to the entity output path. Okay, and I do have to hard code speed in here. Stop move on overlap, stop rotate on overlap. I don't care. Stop move on overlap. And the acceptance radius for like the target, I mean, just make that 30, which is like the default pawn radius. Sure, we can stop, move, and rotate on overlap. That's fine. Okay, so that's going to search for food, and then when that succeeds, it's going to go back to up to root. And if it's not dead or in combat, it's going to get into hangry, and it's going to run this find task, which we're now going to write. Save all that. What is it unhappy about here? Search for food. Entity move to focal location. I did not set that. That can be the same as the wander target out location. That's the focal location is what the actor rotates towards while it's moving. Okay, now we can save all, and let's create a task. New task time. Add is just going to be a U object. We're going to change it to a struct here in a second. This is going to be called find food. It's going to be called find food, I guess. Find food. Entity state tree task base. U struct. We must find the food. What parameters would I have on here? Would I even have any parameters on here? I'll create a struct just as like a container. Find food data. Find food data. Instance data type, my state, completed, my tick, my interstate. I really just think we're going to have interstate. I think this is going to be this is not going to be very latent at all. I think we're just going to check some, just a few things here. Okay. Yeah, I think just interstate. And then this will return success or failure. My state completed. My tick. What would I need to tick for? I don't think I would need to. Let's just get rid of this. I'm gonna do my interstate. Let's grab some of the values we already populated in here. We will need those. I will also need that. I will need... I need transform data for sure. I need to know where we're at. Ooh, I guess I need I need to know what colony I belong to, because I'll need to check. I'll need to check the colony storage at some point, which I don't know. I mean, I have containers. I don't know if I have like that built out yet. What did I do in my behavior tree? Where is food? Where is food? Is it in colonist? Find and, oh, that's bed. Find and move to food. Oh boy. Oh, I check its own inventory. Okay, so here's a new thing. I will need to have an inventory, I suppose, on my entities. Did I put like default equipment, I believe, on the entity archetype. Where did I do that? Given abilities, faction. Faction is different than... I do have entity equipment data, okay. Okay. Well, I guess I need a... I kind of don't like how I set this up. But I guess I need a inventory data, perhaps? With like a default array there. We can set that up now as well. Entity... inventory. Entity data. Delete the C++ file. My entity data, use struct. Okay. This is going to need to have... I guess that we just need default contents, really. Items. Going to map of T subclass of you my item. And then that'll be the quantity right here, I suppose. Although this has a quantity on it, which is editable anywhere, but I think we'll want to we'll want it like that. What do I do for my character? Like the contents are the slot number to the item, and then I just do T subclass of. Okay. I can keep it as a map. So we're gonna have that, and then we're gonna have a reference to the actual inventory component. Do I need the? Yeah, I need the component. View inventory component. Okay, so I think that's all I'll really need. I suppose in my proxy actor, I need to check that. love how create global function is the first option. Wait, do I spawn equipment first, or what do? I do ability system, then equipment, then inventory. Okay, have it in the right order. We're going to copy this, change it to F, inventory, entity data. Inventory, entity data, boop. I don't know that I need that. I don't know that I actually end up using that anywhere. I'm going to copy this. Rename, register. Default equipment. Yeah, what do I do? I do have a default contents here. I don't seem to do anything with. Oh, when I init. Okay. So I can call init there and it'll get initialized. Factor to inventory components. Change the type. That as well. And this will be inventory. Oh, I guess I can't set the default because it's not private. It's the inventory is not private. I feel like a init should be passed to the default contents, to be honest with you. Yeah, or rather I should just move it. I should move the default contents to the component. Should not be here. And I'll change this to a T-map with the quantity. Entry.key would be the class, so we're going to spawn one of those. And, ooh, I do actually need a 4i here. Undo. Okay. Wait, can you? You can't do that, can you? It's a map. It's an entry. Okay, I guess I do need... Go undo the undo. I do need a for each, and I'll just keep a counter. Okay, we'll just keep a counter. Now it's more explicit as well. Slot index, default contents should now be entry.key. And then the new item quantity equals entry.value. There we go. Now we can set quantity now as well. So that'll be refactored, and now I'll need to actually repopulate that for my player character because I put a lot of default items in my player character inventory so that I can test and stuff with. Default contents. Default contents. No. Items. I don't think I need any of that. I'm doing it now here. And I don't think I need to do that either. That's for attachment. That would be for equipment attachment. And I'm not attaching any of these. I think we're okay. We spawn it and it's in there. Okay, so now I can get that value in my find food task. The const F inventory entity data. Come on, Copilot, thank you. That is very satisfying that is the exact same length of character. Oh, that's satisfying. Okay. If transform, well, I guess I don't necessarily need transform data at this point. If I have, although I do need to find a place to eat, right? Because I want them to go like sit at a table or something, and you know, God forbid they eat without a table. Can't do that. Can't do that. Oh, and then do I need when I spawn this? Yeah, I probably should. Inventory component equals inventory component. Yeah, I probably should. Probably should add that. I wonder if this should really be select food. If that's what I should call it. Because really what this task is going to do, it's going to find a piece of food. And I may need to do a move to. Oh, I think I might need to set up the state tree a little bit differently, actually. What is this going to look like? There's like two paths. We have, let's say already. God, I suck at writing. Already has food. We have already has food and like needs to move to food. Needs to move to food. And if I already have food, I just need to then find place to eat food. Grab food. If so I guess if inventory doesn't contain a food type item, maybe I could write a generic task with that. Then I need to move to food, and then it grabs food. Move to and grab food, which really means put it in your inventory. And then the next task is find place to eat. And if you can't find one, you just sit down. Your character just sits down. Sit. Eat. Okay. Find place to eat. Move to place. And actually, let me move to food. And then grab. Speaking of food, I need to grab some food. That's what I need to do. Move to food, grab food, find place to eat, move to place, sit, and eat. Okay. So sit. Oh my god, that was awful. Sit needs to take in it's either going to be a location or I guess it'll be an object, a sittable object or object, because you can sit in chairs. And I had that working at one point. I probably need to go back and fix that again. And so this is going to be a task, and it's like, okay, if there's an object, sit in the object. Otherwise, if it's just a location, actually, there wouldn't even need to be a location because we've already moved to the location, I suppose. So it would just be object. It would just take in an object. And if there is no object, it's an optional object. I'll put a question mark there because that's how you signify something as nullable. Object. If there is an object, sit in it, sit on object. Else sit on ground, and I have a sitting animation. My little dog is just staring at me. Hey, buddy. So this really is a I think these get combined. And then I just return success if there's one already in my inventory. And then, so the output of this, put this in a box. The output of this is a my item pointer, and then eat would find this into the inventory. Or when you use the item, when you use a food, does it automatically remove from the inventory, or do I have to do that? Where did I put that? Where did I put that? Colony? Where's my, like, item stuff? Where did I put my code? Yes. Where did I put, like, where did I put this at? Oh, in the item class, get this, was in the item folder. It's fucking wild, man. It's wild. Food item. Okay. Yes, it does remove. It does remove from the inventory. Okay. I will need to change this though, because it takes in a character. Oh, it's an actor. It's an actor. Okay. That'll work. Use. So eat is just, this is really just like use item actually. Use item. Move to food. Okay. Yeah, so the find food task. Yeah. Okay, so we're on the right track, I think, actually, now that I sketched that out. So we're gonna return success if we can find food in the inventory, and I think I already have some code for that. What did I do here? Contains any resources, food. Aha. I wrote a function for it. Eat resource. Come on, give me the... I know you know what to do. Oh, it's a map. Okay. That's why it wasn't happy with me here. E item, resource type, food. We have food, we're done. Yes. So this is the instance that is going to have an output. New property, visible anywhere, category equals out. You, my item. Got a T object pointer, of course. Food item. Wow, how did it know that? That's fucking insane. Dude, Copilot is reading my code. That's actually kind of fucking nuts. It's kind of nuts. Like this fucking super specific function that I wrote called take as many resource type as possible. Let me guess, is that exactly what I do? I'm sure I do that eventually. No? Okay, I mean that's exactly what I need to do though here. We need one food, please. One food. Give one food. And then I return an array of taken items. Okay, so this should actually be it's not empty. And we do the thing. Instance data, food item equals taken items, 0. Now, what would be kind of interesting, I'm thinking about the food amounts that you eat, right? Because what I have right now is like you eat the food and you sit down for like 30 seconds and it gradually refills your food bar or your food amount. And I'm wondering if I was thinking that maybe I should factor that in. Like, how much food does this restore? Should I take more? But then I'm thinking, like, no, it's just going to run through the... it's just going to run through the logic again if it doesn't have enough food. But I mean, maybe the logic should be... Well, no, this is survival. This is survival food. So this is specifically if we are less than 20 food. Let's not fill up your food bar, which will be like the task of eating food, I suppose. We have food. Output is food item. We have succeeded. Okay. Otherwise, we're just running. So this is really just like... Or no, I need more logic to like search for food in the radius now. And this logic's going to need to change. For whenever I'm doing the point serialization. Find closest food source. Find closest food source. I'm passing in an actor. I guess I'll want to change that to a vector. I did a F vector pointer. Yeah, so right now... Oh man, I'm doing the interactable check as well. It is interactable. Shit, okay. What do I want to do there? What is it? What is the function signature? That's not, that ain't right. It is... I need to pass in the interacting character. Okay. And I'm hung up on this because the entities are not always going to be actors. But I guess this logic isn't even going to work. If they're not actors, this logic is not going to work because it's doing a collision trace. For mushrooms, essentially, is what I had. Okay, maybe I leave this as actor. And I think I have to come back and refactor this later when I have the ECG point serialization working. Save. Okay. Which means I need to get the actor representation. I mean, really, I guess I could pass another interaction interface and then call isInteractable on that with the other interface. Man, okay, this is really making me think. Oh man, I think I need the well, no, we'll just do it for the actor representation for now. So we'll do this. If we don't have avatar data, I guess we just failed. We just failed. I also want to check colony storage. So I'll need some sort of entity colony data for what colony they belong to. Which I think is going to be different than a faction. I think a colony is like a subset of a faction. But I do have faction data on there. There's not an actor representation, we just fail. We fail to find food. So we'll just wander around. And I suppose I can parameterize find closest food source. Let me look at my paint. Where's my paint? Oh no, did I close it? Oh no, it's just on this page. Move to food. Grab food. I may want to set this up somewhat hierarchical. Yeah, we'll create that. Okay, so that'll be just like the radius that we can find food within. I'll do 3,000 for that. So if there's a mushroom within 3,000 mechbles, then we can find it. I assume it's going to be null. Hang on, let me look at this code. I assume this is going to be null. Yeah, it's just going to be null if we don't found it. Or no, it returns a boolean. Cool, success. Return, fail. Otherwise, food source result, we will have an interactable HISM, instance index, result location. Can I just output? I think this is in a different task. I think this should be in a different task. think this should be in a different task. I'm gonna look at this again. Needs... Already has food. Needs to move to food. Food in inventory. Yeah, I think this task, just like if it fails... God, why am I'm having such trouble picturing what this should look like in the hierarchy here. Should this be like... Add child state. Get from inventory. Search and move to food and grab. Search, move to, and grab food. Food. And this should be sit and this really should be like I think this should really be something like I think this is the hierarchy. Because this would output, select food to eat would output an item, and then this would just, then this would do like, it's so weird because you picture each one of these as being a task, but it's not, it's a state. And the state has multiple tasks in it. So sit and eat would actually probably have like, the find place to sit in it. But it would all just be part of one task. I think that's what I'm going to want to do. I, however, am going to take a break. I'm going to hop off for the time being because I'm quite hungry. My stomach has been sitting here growling. And it's affecting my ability to focus. Okay, so we're going to send you guys on over to First Crimson yet again. But yeah, it's a good stream. It was a solid stream. We fixed the death stuff. We got the entity state into a good spot for animations. Happy about that. So yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by and hanging out. Phoenix, good to talk with you. Yili popped in, Infidel as well. We got Matic, new follower. So yeah, awesome guys. Should probably yet again be streaming tomorrow at some point. At least I want to. So hopefully I will see you guys then. Bye.
I could put D in here. D's nuts. I don't know why the